Our company is AJFEM.
Honorable Sadiki Capital CEO, you have a problem and we believe to have the answer to that dilemma.
Sadiki Capital has just acquired a new software company and is currently looking for a market and a company where to test this new software which will support the 4G technology.
We assure you that we know that future and we will lead you towards it.
First of all, and although you already have a strategic sketch of where to go, we decided to use a macroeconomic model that allows us to weight some alternatives. This model involves three main dimensions that are basic requirements, efficient answers, and innovation. As you can see, we divided these dimensions in several macroeconomic variables, which we gave some ponderations, in order to obtain the market that best suits your company. By doing this, we obtained a pre-selection of 15 countries out of 134. On the other hand, we highlighted the Asian country as Asia is becoming a technological center, the choice location for the world, and your company is already settled in Asia. Here we can see the ranking. In order to have a more detailed analysis that allows us to specify our country, we use the model available online that allows us to search on international databases, such as World Bank. We then gave a percentage order to these variables and dimensions, which will allow us to obtain this ease of doing business ranking. On the left, we have the final ranking, and on the right, we can see the several dimensions we analyzed, which are starting a business, dealing with license, employing workers, registering property, getting credit, protecting investors, paying taxes, trading across borders, enforcing contracts, and closing a business. Once again, on the left, we have the final ranking, and on the right, we have the 10 sub-rankings.
So, after doing this analysis, we concluded that Singapore is the best country to your interest and to develop your business. In Singapore, we studied the market of telecommunications, and we analyzed some indicators of the three main mobile operators in this country, which are M1, StarHub, and Singtel. From the three companies that we already mentioned, we think that the best decision for your company is to make an acquisition to Mobile One. And why do we think that Mobile One is the best that fits your interests? The economic crisis, as well as its unclear future due to an expected change in leadership, might turn M1 as a potential vulnerable target to a takeover offer. We believe that this acquisition will lead us to a stronger company, promoting synergies that makes the total greater than the sum of the parts. And why do we think that the acquisition is a good deal? As we all know, it will allow us to achieve economies of scale. How we will approach this acquisition? We will deal and negotiate with the board of direction, essentially, and we will try to convince the shareholders as well as the Singapore government. Analyzing each of the stakeholders and mainly the shareholders, we can see that the ones that have more power are the SPH Multimedia, Keppel Telecoms, and Sunshare Investments, that is a subsidiary from the Telekom Malaysia.
So, after analyzing the stakeholder mapping, it's important to analyze the players in it. And the big player is the government. And the way you intend to run M1 goes according with the government interests, as it goes according with EN 2015, their technological plan. And as their Prime Minister said, innovation, enterprise, and research and development are the ways to remake the economy. So the interests go towards the same goal.
To estimate M1's value, we decided to use the free cash flow model. To do so, we employed two economical formulas: the enterprise value and the weighted average cost of capital.
This model implicates the study of the evolution of free cash flow. And according to the actual and the future economic performance, we estimate that free cash flow will grow -2% in 2009, 0.5% in 2010, 1% in 2011, and finally it will stabilize in 2% in 2012 and the following years.
Using this model, we obtained a weighted average cost of capital of 7.38% and an enterprise value of 2,806,000,000 Singaporean dollars. That's a value where we're going to base our takeover offer.
Now we are going to expose how we plan to acquire M1. It's important to say that in order to take control of the company, we will propose a purchase of 50.01% of M1's capital. This is the same that this is saying that it will be an offer of 1,406,000,000 Singaporean dollars. This financial plan is based on three strategies. First of all, we will borrow 1,200,000,000 of Singaporean dollars from Red Sea Investments, our partner. Then we will collect 200 million of Singaporean dollars through bond emission. And then the remaining 6 million Singaporean dollars are expected to be obtained through a dividend cut policy in the next 5 years.
When it comes to the implementation plan, the post-acquisition phase, it's important to follow an order. First, we'll talk about the human resources, then logistics, then brand and marketing. There are several steps that have to be followed in order these tasks are performed well. First, the management restructure. It's important to create a transition management team and to nominate a strong leader that's not afraid of taking control, of taking charge. After that, this transition management team has to be provided with adequate resources to perform their task. And finally, it's crucial to communicate widely and quickly to the stakeholders of our intentions about the management team. So we recommend that Mrs. Karen Cui, actual CEO of M1, could integrate this management team as she fulfills all the profile requirements. Finally, we have done a timeline where we demonstrate which are the most important tasks to be done and when to be done. We estimate that it will last about 3 years. Another phase of the implementation plan is logistics, where it's important, first of all, to harmonize organizational cultures and values. It's important to establish the work discipline and the organization. Important to clarify the new management structure and the relative importance of different management positions and functions. Finally, it's important to prepare several workshops and public sessions to express to the personnel the organization's mission and image. Another step is to rationalize business process and the information technology that supports them. We believe the solution is outsourcing. We analyzed 2 companies of this sector and believe that vCustomer is the best option as offers lower prices and a greater experience in the sector. We believe that the contract with vCustomer, according to the average of this sector and this type of contracts, should last for 5 years and have a cost of 40 million. In the first phase, it would help with the integration, and possibly in the future, it could help with customer relation management. In the brand and marketing dimension, we believe you should focus on 5 vectors. First, internal branding. Instruct employees, such things as compensation structure and promotion criteria. Then, retention branding. Secure the client database. It's important to secure the client's base for a future, such as pricing and strategic alliances. After that, acquisition branding, prospects, what future plans, what to do in the future, advertising. And finally, financial branding. Financial community is in the center of everything. So, as you can see, we've got here a timeline that sums up all these tasks that have to be performed. Singapore's mobile market is in the late growth phase, with the number of subscribers rising at less than half a percentage point every month. However, Singapore's wireless base is quickly migrating to 3G and will eventually go on to 4G, with the development of new technologies such as LTE, long-term evolution. On the other hand, mobile data services continue to grow and will be the main source for mobile operators. Said that, we believe that the best target segment to bet on would be mobile data services in the near present and continue to invest and develop in 3G and 4G technologies for a future. Still, keep an eye on mobile advertising and application stores, as they are sectors that have potential in the future. In order to do some risk management, it's important to have some key performance indicators in the future. Analyzing and select new management, perform quality service surveys, increasing brand awareness, and investment analysis and decision on the possibility to go global are important things to do in the future, and we have done a timeline showing when they should be done.
After analyzing the market and rivalry trends, bearing in mind the world's economic scenario and factors such as the conclusion of M1's backhaul transmission network that will enhance cost savings, we estimate the following revenues and expenses growth rates and EBITDA margins. However, if the software technology that will be tested shows surprising results, there could be better or worse case scenarios.